Hi, I'm Andrea, the contest coordinator here at AQS, and I want to show you just how easy it is to enter online for the contest. With this video, we're going to demonstrate how to enter the Ultimate Guild Challenge online. We're going to start out at our homepage at aqsshows.com. Click on AQS Contest. This is the main contest page for all 7 shows. You'll see it has the individualized contest information for each show, the deadlines, the rules for entering, and where you can actually enter. Now you'll see that it says coming soon in this video, but when you actually are ready to enter, it will say enter here just like the other ones. I want to point out a couple things before we actually start the registration process. First, I get a lot of questions about deadlines and dates. If you'll click on this link right here, it has the deadlines for all 7 shows, and you can actually print that out. But also I wanted to point out we have something new here called the frequently asked questions, which apply to all 7 shows. Some of the most frequent questions that I receive in emails and phone calls can be answered right here. So let's go back, and we're going to pretend this says enter here and click. And once you do that, it's going to take you to this page here. And on this page you can find some of the exact same information that we had on the other page. We've got the frequently asked questions, we've got the contest rules, but we're ready to enter, so we're going to say enter the contest. When you are entering your name and your email address, this system actually matches your name and email to what is in our membership database, and if you are a member, it will automatically assign you that member pricing. If you're not sure if your email address is correct in the membership database, you can go online to check that or call the membership department. So we're going to put that information in. It remembers I was here before, and it's got it here for me. The event registration, there's only one choice, which is AQS registration. You're going to click there and click next. This loading that you see, this is actually comparing the information to the membership database. Now it remembers I was in here before, so I'm going to say no, I don't want it to remember the saved. I want to start new. You will actually not even see this screen unless you go back in. Let's say you start a registration and then you come back, you will see that. So it's going to bring you to the demographic page, and you're going to type in your information. Again, it's still remembering mine, but you can type your information in. On the bottom here, you will see cell phone strongly recommended. The reason for this is a lot of times during the show we might need to contact you about one of the quilts. So if you have a cell phone, we do recommend that you put it there. This information is really more for the contest than it is the guild, but we could not eliminate this question here. But also some people might want to enter the challenge and the contest, and if so, they're going to need this information here. It will require you to upload a photo. I recommend just uploading the guild photo here with everyone. Now you'll see here that when I hit upload, almost immediately it placed the file here, but some people have reported that it takes as long as 2 to 3 minutes depending on their speed for this photo to upload. And while it's waiting, it appears to be doing nothing. There's not a loading bar or wheel spinning. So if your photo doesn't appear right away, maybe go make a cup of coffee and come back and it'll be ready then. The email address is for if you would like us to email the press release to your local newspaper. You can put in the email address here and the name of the newspaper. This is, we always like to get to know our quilters better, so we ask them to share a little something about themselves. And this notes section, if you have notes that you want to add for the guild, I ask that you not put them here. There's actually another section. But if you are entering both the challenge and the contest and you have notes, this is where you can put them if you have an alternate email or contact person. Here is where you can renew your membership or purchase a new membership. And down at the bottom is where we're selecting how we're entering. Of course, we're not going to be doing just the contest because we're looking at the Guild Challenge here. So we've got two choices. We can just enter the Guild, or we can enter a contest quilt and the Ultimate Guild Challenge. If you plan to enter both, I highly recommend you watch this video and the contest entry video, because there are additional questions if you're just entering the contest. So you might want to watch that just to make sure you've gone through that process and see. But I'm going to select just the challenge and click Next. Now it's going to ask me these specific questions for the Guild. What is the title of the Guild? What is the theme of the Guild? Here it's wanting to know what the challenge description and rules are. Now some of the challenges, I know they send in a document that they've already typed, one that they've given to all of their members. If you already have a typed up document with this information, you can actually just add the file here instead of retyping it. If you do that, what you should do in this box is type "See below" and then upload that. But if you do not already have something typed up, you would type up that information in this box. This is where you're going to upload a photo of the Guild. Because now if on that first photo that it asked you to upload, if you were entering both the contest and the challenge, what you would do, your photo would be the first photo that you uploaded, and then you would upload the Guild here. And here's where you add the notes. Several of the guilds like to have an additional contact person. So if you have an additional contact person, you can put their name and email right here. And click Next. Now here's where you're actually going to add the Guild quilts. Now for the Guild, you're actually going to be adding 8 quilts here. For any of you who may have registered last year, you remember you added all 8 quilts on one page, and the system would time you out after 20 minutes and you would lose information. We've broken it down now so that when you hit this Add Quilt, you now have 20 minutes to add this one quilt. And then once you go back and hit Add Another Quilt, you will have an additional 20 minutes, so the system will not time you out the way that it did before. Now I do want to show you one thing. If you would have clicked that you're entering the contest and the challenge, when you click Add a Quilt, it's going to look like this, and it's going to have a quilt category for you. So when you're entering your own quilt, you're going to pick the category and then go through the process. And when you add another quilt, the next time you can come back and click the challenge. So each time you come back for the challenge, you would be selecting that Ultimate Guild Challenge 8 times until you have entered the 8 challenge quilts. And then of course, whatever category you're entering, you would also click there. So I'm going to go back to the page that I was on. You see there is no choice here because we selected challenge only. So each of these that we enter is going to be strictly for the challenge. So let's put in the quilt title of our first quilt. And the entrant name, this would be the name of the first person in the guild. They're the Elegant Butterflies, whoever created this quilt, that's going to be their name. This is the name that's going to appear on the quilt tag and in the show book. This can only be one name. Now you see the second entrant name and the third entrant name. This only applies to the contest. Unfortunately, we couldn't remove these when you're entering the Guild Challenge, so you're only entering in the very first one. So let's just say maybe this is Sandy Smith's quilt. And click Next. And then all of these questions are specific to Sandy's quilt. All of the Guild Challenge quilts are wall quilts. We'll put in the size of her quilt, the full photo of her quilt. Remember, the photo should show all 4 corners, a very good image for the jury to look at. And then the close-up, which is showcasing the best work on her quilt. And her quilting method and the techniques used. Now, if she did not quilt, if Sandy did not quilt this quilt, you would put the name of the quilter here. But if Sandy did, you would just put self. For the value of the quilt, if you'll remember, everything over 1,000 requires a certified appraisal to be included. So if, let's just say I pick 1,500 here, it's going to require me to upload that appraisal. Now, if the appraisal, let's say the appraisal is 3 or 4 pages, all of those pages will have to be scanned as one single document because it only allows you to upload the one file. So I'm going to say that this quilt's only valued at 1,000, so I'm not required to upload an appraisal. For the design source, if you pick pattern or any other type of source, you will be required to type in the information and the author. If you have more than one pattern, or maybe it was inspired by a pattern and a photograph, you would put in the name of the pattern, comma, the name of the photograph. Down here, since you put the pattern first, you would put the author of the pattern, comma, and then the author of the photograph, just to follow along. And then down here, you can also add your design permission. Now you see that I click next and it would not let me go next because I'm missing something. If you'll scroll up to the top, it tells me exactly which questions I missed. It did not recognize when I typed in my quilting method. So let me make sure I've got that checked. And because I selected a pattern but didn't fill out any of the information, it's telling me that that is required. So anytime you click next and it does not move, scroll up to the top and it will tell you what it is you were missing. So I'm going to say this was totally original. And next. And then I would hit add another quilt and do this each time until you have all 8 quilts entered. It's the exact process for each one. And each time you add a quilt, it will bring you back to this page and allow you to add another quilt until you have all 8 listed. Once you do, you can click next. And if you need to edit any of the contact information, you can click edit here. Or if you need to edit anyone's quilt information, all of the 8 would be listed right here. You can click on that person's quilt and click edit, and it's going to take you back to their information. And you can go through and make any changes that you need to make. And it always brings you right back to this page. So if everything is correct, you can click next. Everything's correct. Proceed to checkout. And you will see here where it has the total. It's got me as a non-member at $35. I go down, fill in my credit card information. I agree to the terms and conditions. And lastly, I click finish. So I'm not going to actually click finish, but when you click finish, you will see it processing and a couple little wheels turning, and then it will take you to your summary page and you're all set. You'll get a confirmation email sent to you, save that for your records, and you're all done. Happy quilting to you, and we hope to see your entry soon.